What's up guys, welcome back to some more Pokemon Sun and Moon coverage, and today we have some more rumours going about Sun and Moon obviously, but loads of different sort of things, obviously coming from apparently someone who's worked on the game or done some translations on it, saying these are some things that are apparently in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these rumours and we're going to sort of break down, and I'm just going to give a quick opinion myself saying, yeah, I think this, this checks out, or this is a bit fishy and I don't like this. Of course, it's just a rumour. So of course it's speculation, it's not fact, so speculation meaning that, rumour such. So, let's just go through. First up is Alola that is made of 4 islands, Mele, Akala, Poni and Ula. This is believable. Poni and Ula are colours in Hawaii, so it makes a lot of sense, and it's names that people have sort of thrown about and speculated about before, so it would check out if these were the other island names. But apparently, the post-game has 4 island districts that aren't currently viewable on the Alola map. So, possibly based on the 4 other islands in Hawaii, because obviously we can't see them currently, they're not there. So maybe they're just off to the north, something like that. But these are apparently Ekahi Island, Elua Island, Akolu Island, and Kalola Island. I haven't gone through and sort of translated any of these. It wouldn't be surprised me if they were related to colours again, but I wouldn't think so. Also, you can say they're called islands, so I would imagine they're obviously very small islands. I would expect, similar to I guess the Fire Red Leaf Green post game we had the Seville Isles. They were very small islands, they weren't huge, so it would just have like a town or two on it. But Kalos is apparently not available post game, but on Kalola Island, one of the post game islands, there is a cave called Humaka Cave, which holds a huge Easter egg, I believe, says this person here, of course. Deep inside there is a dark entrance guarded by a backpacker that states the railroad is closed for now, and only a Pokemon that emits a special light can ignite the way to the other side. No Pokemon in your party will allow you to enter for now. So, what does this mean? Well, it would look like possibly that there is a hint that Kalos will be available, or another post-game area will be available. That we have this railroad, so possibly railroad is linking into the railroads we've seen in Kalos that don't really lead anywhere. It's just a hint, I guess. They've mentioned Kalos is not available post-game, so maybe that links in there, who knows. The Pokemon that emits a special light, again, you would assume it's a Pokemon from Generation 7, possibly a legendary and mythical, possibly. But we don't know for now, but that's just, it's believable, I suppose, but I can't imagine there being, 4 islands in Alola, 4 post-game islands, and then Kalos in the post-game as well, so you can't really have both, the island districts and, the other ones, so I don't know, it's 50-50 there. I could believe it, I couldn't either way. But Rockruff has 3 evolutions similar to the original Eevee in Red, Blue and Yellow. I don't know whether that means it's going to evolve into like Rock Fire, Rock Water and Rock Electric, or whether it just means like they can evolve like Eevee did originally. All of them require learning Howl. It makes a lot of sense because we've heard about Rockruff that it's based on a wolf, and apparently it can go away, leave its owner and come back evolved, so Howl makes sense there. Salandit has a split evolution line at level 36, one for male, one for female. This is perfectly believable, I suppose. We don't have too many split evolution lines, at least the ones that aren't like, you're male, you go that way, you're female, you go that way. We have ones like with Snorunt, where only females can evolve into Frozlass, but both can evolve into Glalie, so that's a bit different. But I'd be up for that, and Salandit evolving level 36, I could imagine that, it's not like it's a starter Pokemon sort of style, but then again, it's not evolving too early, I suppose. There are 16 Z-Stones, 18 in total though, one for each type, with a trial captain for 16 of the types. Guzma and Plumeria are the holders of the missing Dark and Poison Z-Stones. Makes sense, since Dark and Poison are generally the types used by the evil team, the enemy team, plus Dark, as I mentioned several times, is evil in Japan, so it's literally the evil type, and Poison obviously is poisonous. This would make sense, and I guess tie in with the storyline as well, because we hear that Team Skull apparently is interfering with the trials, so possibly they steal these last 2 Z-Stones, and that's where you end up getting them back from, who knows. But yeah, the trial captain for the 16 other types makes sense. We've seen 4 of them already, the 4 basic types, on Akala Island, so you can imagine there being, sort of 12 more, with 4 on each other island, or possibly you get them from beating the Kahunas maybe sometimes as well. So obviously if you got one for each Kahuna, that would leave you with 12 left. So then if you have 4 on Akala, you don't have 8, so maybe like 2 on Melee, and then a couple spread about elsewhere, so I could believe that. But apparently there are also some Pokemon can change shape or stats after they perform a Z move, whatever you want to call that there. These include Greninja, being a Rainbow Greninja, Solgaleo being Radiant in its form, Lunala being Full Moon, Marshadow being Eclipse, Espeon having a Dawn sort of form, and Umbreon being Dusk. Now, I'm 50-50 on this. It sounds a bit weird, you know, like, oh, it's just like Mega Evolution then, related to Z moves. Maybe, but maybe not, I don't know. Because I do like the idea of the Radiant and Full Moon forms for Solgaleo and Lunala being related to the Z moves, since obviously we heard about them originally and we were like, well, why would they have a new form? It's like, do they enter this form when they have, you know, like go into a Mega Evolution, not Mega Evolution, but, you know, use their signature move, for example, or, you know, is it related to something else, like, I don't know, you know, something crazy, like an item? It would make sense, I suppose, for them to enter, you know, to actually combine the new Z move mechanic with these new forms for the legendaries. Marshadow having an Eclipse one makes sense as well, since it is going to be based on an Eclipse Pokemon as far as we can tell. Greninja Rainbow. Apparently the Rainbow Greninja is just like a recolor of Ash Greninja, so maybe they'll end up sort of retconning the anime to sort of fit that in and be like, oh, Ash, you were using this all along, it's actually a Rainbow Greninja, it's not just you. Maybe, who knows, I'm not too sure on that. But Espeon and Umbreon getting Dawn and Dusk sort of forms, or, you know, Z move forms, makes a lot of sense, since they were in Generation 2, the original Sun and Moon Pokemon, you know, evolving during the day or the night, for example. So it makes sense for them to have something, if not a Mega Evolution, have something there. So I'm 50-50 on that. Then we talk about Mega Evolution a bit here. All 47 current Mega Stones are accessible on the Island District, so i.e. the post game. There are no new Mega Evolutions, so this makes sense. This fits in with what I believe is going to happen. I think Mega Evolutions will be in the game, but they will not be available to the post game to sort of emphasize using Z moves and such for your main Pokemon journey. That's what I believe. Of course, let me know what you think down below, but I could see that, having them being on the island districts instead of the main island of Alola. Maybe, you know, not all in the island districts, since they're supposed to be small, I suppose, but who knows what exactly that means. There are a total of 128 new Pokemon, as well as 23 Alola forms. Apparently all the Alola forms are Generation 1 exclusive. That makes a lot of sense, considering all the ones we had revealed so far are all Gen 1, I could see them all being Gen 1. Of course, there might be one or two that aren't, but I could see them all being. And 128 new Pokemon fits in more than X and Y, but not like a huge amount. So we'll see there. Alolan form Pokemon are capable of Mega Evolving, so Alakazam and Kangaskhan apparently getting Alolan form. They don't actually mention that it was going to get one, but it would suggest here, having it listed here, that it would actually have one. Alakazam, it was rumoured to get an Alolan form, i.e. a fighting type form, so we'll see what that is. I'm really excited to see a Mega fighting Alakazam. That would be interesting to see if it's actually true. I could see it happening. Of course, if you give Alola forms to Mega Evolvable Pokemon, you have to add in the extra Mega Evolution, otherwise it's just a bit weird. Then we talk about Marshadow. Marshadow is apparently an extremely gorgeous dolphin that has a jewel on its head that emits sparkles so bright that it is seen as the emissary of light. So I guess that makes sense, since we have Emissary of the Sun, Emissary of the Moon, Marshadow being the emissary of light in general. Because obviously Sun and Moon both are light related, I suppose. Its stats are pretty underwhelming, so it's not like a huge, amazingly sort of, you know, effective Pokemon, but it has a cool ability that allows it to have any Psychic type combination. So it's Psychic, and then its second type is random every time it enters the battlefield. Switching out causes it to change. Now, in one of the rumours, we were told that Marshadow was going to have a very unique typing. So this fits in again here, having Psychic anything, so, you know, whatever you switch in, you could have a different type each time, which is quite interesting, and having the underwhelming stats, I guess, makes up for it. I don't know though, but I could see that happening, especially with the unique typing we were told about in the leaks, in the rumours, whatever. But now we move on to the Strange Souvenir. The Strange Souvenir in XY depicts a Ghost Rock type Pokemon from Alola named Gigareki. It's a giant Tiki Pokemon, different from the Tapu line, so Tapus are the Guardians, and then Gigareki being similar to like Regigigas, that has an amazing laughing animation when you battle with it, okay? It's said to be the oldest living Pokemon and seen as a teacher in many ways. Now in X and Y, in the sort of description, it's listed as a protector, teacher. It makes sense, it fits in. I could see it happening, but we don't really know what the Strange Souvenir is going to be in general. It could be Marshadow, if Marshadow is not a dolphin, or it could be something else in general, like another of the Tapus, who knows. The NX, it's a bit weird here, the NX will be a dual handheld console set for release next year. September 2017 there will be a parent game that features both regions of X, Y and Sun and Moon exclusive to this console. So this is a link into the NX, we've heard loads of rumours about this but nothing too solid yet, but a dual handheld console set, so like, you have the handheld and then you play with the console. So this is saying next September there will be a parent game that features both regions exclusive to the console, so sort of like a joining game, so like a sequel to both X and Y and Sun and Moon. I guess see this happening. It would be a bit weird to have it on a console rather than just a purely handheld game, but I could see them doing it as a launch sort of way for the NX to be like, yeah, get the NX, you can play this awesome game that is a sequel to both X and Y and Sun and Moon. I could see it happening, but I'm not too sure on that one. We have a statement here. Rainbow Greninja will be revealed by the Pokemon Company on August 21st. That's a week today, so we will know if these rumours are true or if this rumour has any sort of basis to it next week, so stay tuned for that. Linking back to the Alakazam there are the fighting type as we mentioned. Alola Alakazam can Mega Evolve, keeps the fighting type and gains no guard as the ability, so obviously we know abilities for Alolan forms are different from the normal abilities, i.e. Vulpix and Ninetales and everything else. So it would make sense that Mega Evolutions have maybe a different ability. So rather than what Alakazam currently has when it Mega Evolves, it gets no guard, which is a brilliant ability for a fighting type. So we'll see what that's there. So then we talk about the Z-Bracelet. The Z-Bracelet is a key item in your backpack. Selecting allows you to place one Mega Stone and one Z Stone inside of it. This allows for more crazy strategies because your Mega Pokemon can now hold items like Rayquaza. I'm not sure on this one. This is the one sort of line that makes me think really that it's not real. This would mean, you can get, before you, let's say competitive wise, I'm going to talk about here, you put in a Fire Z Stone and you put in a Charizard Y Stone. Then you can give your Charizard Y, or your Charizard I don't know what it would be really good with, a choice specs. So then you can go in battle, you can Mega Evolve your Charizard, you can use its Fire Z move, combine it with a choice spec, so you have a Mega Charizard Y with choice specs, with a Z move. That's too powerful. That's just, I can't see it happening. I can't see them allowing Mega Evolutions to hold items. Yes, Rayquaza can do it, but Rayquaza is a special case. It would just completely overhaul the competitive scene, and I think you'd see a lot of Mega Evolutions just get straight out banned and sent to Ubers for this. And it would make, imagine a Mega Kangaskhan with a choice band, just power up punching over and over and over. That's too powerful. I cannot see that happening. This is the only the only sort of statement that makes me think it's really fake. But again, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this down below, because it's a really, really weird thing to say. But moving on, we'll talk about the post game some more. The first district you're taken to has a slightly upgraded Battle Maison, so again, unlikely we're going to get Battle Frontier, but we're not expecting that, I suppose. But a slightly upgraded Battle Maison makes sense since it's been in XY, Auras, now Sun and Moon. It just seems like a staple of the games nowadays. But that makes sense. And one of the districts also has a Lugia or Ho-Oh catchable, depending on your version. That makes sense, since these games are supposed to be spiritual successors to Generation 2. We've had Lugia and Ho-Oh linked in with Sun and Moon, so it makes sense that one of them is available, so I can believe that. All the champions from the previous games are able to be battled on the SS-An while they're bored. We mentioned the SS-An before in another leak, or another rumour, that is going to appear in the games. This will support it there. The SS-An brings you to each of the districts. So I guess once you beat the champion, whatever you do there, you can go to one of the harbours, and instead of just going to one of the other islands, you can go to an island district. The SS-An comes to pick you up, and I guess the SS-An is designed as to being cruising around Alola at this time, so you can just use the SS-An to go back and forth. But all champions being battleable are pretty cool. That would be an awesome feature, because you get to see battle Blue, Lance, Cynthia, etc. That'd be really cool, just to battle whenever you want, sort of thing. But I mentioned here, Rainbow Greninja is technically Ash Greninja, but with a name change. It will be revealed in the closing ceremony at Worlds 2016, which of course is, I guess, a week today. I guess that is, since it's supposed to be next Sunday, so it makes sense. We'll see what happens at Worlds. Then Meowth, Happy Hour, and the original trailer being Alola will be distributed at Worlds. Cherish Ball, okay, I can see that happening. We'll see at Worlds next week. And then finally, if you add 128 Pokemon to the existing 721 we have, that means Generation 8 will only need to introduce 150 more Pokemon to bring a total count to 1,000. So 128 plus 721 gives you 849. Okay, add 151 to that, you get 1,000. So 1,000 is a big number for Pokemon. That's 1,000 total Pokemon. Generation 8 obviously being a while off, but this person here is mentioning that like this is a point. They could then say Generation 8 introduces 151 more new Pokemon, similar to how Black and White worked. Didn't go down too well then, but maybe it'll go down better for Generation 8, which will give you the final Pokemon, the final mythical Pokemon, whatever, being number 1000, which could be a special Pokemon or something like that. I could see it happening, but again, you don't know what the Pokemon company's going to do. They might only introduce 100 here, and then 100 more for Generation 8, and we'll be waiting like 10 more years to get our 1000th Pokemon. So I guess we'll see. But those are all the sort of the statements here. So we'll see, I guess, next week, next Sunday, obviously when Worlds is going on, if we have the Meowth, and also if we have the Rainbow Greninja being revealed, then we can sort of confirm some of this stuff. As I mentioned, the only thing that really looks fake to me is the fact that you can have a Mega Stone in your Z-Bracelet and give your Mega Pokemon items, but let me know what you think about that down below. Is it believable for you? Just let me know what you think. That's it for me for today though. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.